You start a mission in SCYLab from clicking the link that says Start SCYLab on the front page of a mission in the Sky portal. This will open SCYLab in a new window. The first you see in the window that opens is a description of the mission placed in an information curtain. The description for this mission, called Run for Your Life, tells you that you are going to study the effects on energy drinks and whether they provide the boost in energy that producers claim. It also tells you that this mission is for learning how to use SCYLab. When you close the information curtain, the mission map is displayed. The mission map contains the step that you have to go through to complete a mission. You start by clicking the icon with an I in it to enter the activity space for that part of the mission. Each activity space has information about the activities associated within it, contained in an information curtain, which can be dropped down or rolled up by clicking the Y icon. Here it says that you are going to familiarize yourself with the same concepts that are relevant for the mission. The central concept is glucose. The learning goals for this part of the mission are also listed. The activity for this part of the mission is to complete the concept map on glucose. The assignment is described in the assignment drawer on the left side of the concept map tube, where the missing terms in the concept map are listed. Opening the R drawer will provide you with some internet links where you can search for more information. When you have finished completing the concept map, save the learning object and click the I have finished button. Clicking the mission map icon in the bottom right corner takes you back to the mission map. Next, you enter the activity space represented by the question mark icon. Here you will learn how to formulate a hypothesis based on your own knowledge. The hypothesis you formulate here will be related to how energy drinks affects the concentration of glucose in your blood. Open the icon that is represented by a question mark icon and look in the assignment drawer. This tells you that you are going to state your expected outcomes of the situations that are stated by removing the words that you do not apply. This will result in your hypothesis. When you have finished, return to the mission map by clicking the mission map icon. Now enter the activity space represented by the grid icon. The text in the information curtain tells you that it is time to test your hypothesis by running a virtual model that simulates the effect of glucose intake on the glucose concentration in your blood. Having done that, you will analyze the results and formulate an answer to your research question. Open the icon that says Glucose Level Simulation. This will display a graph where you can experiment with the parameters and observe the results. Play around with the different parameters and press the Start button to observe how the output varies. You will see that with no glucose intake and no exercise, the glucose concentration stays level. With glucose intake and no exercise, the glucose concentration rises for 15 minutes before it starts to drop. With glucose intake and exercise, you will see that the glucose concentration will start to rise and then level out for the duration of the exercise. This leaves one part of the mission to be completed, the report. Return to the mission map and click on the final icon. Now we are going to describe your simulation and outline the main findings, and then present your work. First, write a summary of your research in a learning object called Conclusion of Experiment. This includes a short summary of your results and an answer to your research questions. Next, open a learning object called Report. This is to learn how scientists share their results with a research community. Write a report that contains elements described in this learning object: introduction, research questions and hypotheses, simulation, results, and conclusion. When you have finished your report, you have completed your first mission in SCYLab. Congratulations!